Now let's quickly recap what we have done so far. So we just have created our directory structure and initialize our Spring Boot application by the default template provided by Spring Initializer. Now we are going to do some code and run our application for the first time. So in last video we have created controller model repository and service packages. So now let's first write our first controller. So what I will do is I am just going to create an application which is consist of some nodes, and we just have to implement some basic CRUD operations, and we will work on it throughout our this video series. So now, as I have mentioned, we are going to create a nodes application. So the controller name will be nodes controller. Let me zoom it for you so that you can see it clearly. And also I'm going to change the theme to bright color so you can view it better. Okay, so we have created our first class nodes controller in our controller package. So first we will use the annotation REST controller. This annotation have basically all the things related to controller. Behind the scenes, many things are working. We will go into the details in later videos. For now, let's assume it is just annotation which is used to create REST controller. And also we are going to use another annotation request mapping. This is the annotation which is used to tell what kind of HTTP request we are going to use, the name of HTTP request. So like we are using nodes controller, so it is nodes. One more thing, it doesn't matter if we use this forward slash. What will happen is our URL will work properly. So I am going to remove this forward slash. Now let's quickly create our first GET request. I guess all of you are familiar with get, put, post, delete operations. So now let's just create GET request. So now I am going to create a method for the controller. So public, let's return string for a while. Public string get all nodes, and I am just going to create string dummy nodes. Now I am going to run my application for the very first time. So let's quickly run the application and let's see what will happen. So okay, so it gives me error. So what is the error? Application failed to start. So it is error failed to configure a data source URL attribute is not specified. Okay, so this error is related to JPA, Java Persistence API, which we will use in our next videos. Let's go to our POM and disable it for a while. So here is a Spring Boot starter JPA. So what is happening right now is that basically JPA requires a URL. Basically it requires a DB to connect with, so it is giving error. So I am going to just comment this for a while. Let's quickly close this, and now let's run our application again. So as you can see, it is by default runs on port 8080. So our application is started on port 8080. Now let's see what will happen in Postman. So that is our Postman, and as the URL is localhost 8080, our code is running on 8080, and the request mapping was nodes. So I am going to hit this, and we are getting response from the server dummy node. So and status is 200. Okay, so we have successfully created our application, and it is running quite well.